So y'all, today makes 1 month since my mom passed, and I just want to celebrate her tonight. I want to laugh, I want to drink, I just want to have a good time. So that's the plan, that's what we doing. We just gonna celebrate my mom. Yeah, so come get ready with your girl, Ghetto Bougie version. And y'all, to be for real, I don't even got no agenda for real. Like, I don't even know where I'm going. I just know I'm outside and I'm having a good time. So if y'all know of any spots, drama free, okay? Y'all can definitely reach out, let me know good places to go.
In Anderson, a drive-by shooting leaves a woman dead. The coroner responded overnight to the shooting on North Prince Street. While visiting her friend's home, a bullet was shot into the home and then hit her. Deputies say they are still in the early stages of this investigation. You can stay with WYFF News 4 as we learn more.
It was just after 2:30 in the morning, a quiet summer night in Anderson, South Carolina. Most of the neighborhood was asleep, the streets calm, still, and dark. But at 2:44 a.m. on August 3rd, 2024, that stillness shattered. Gunshots ripped through the air, sudden and deadly, breaking the silence in an instant. A bullet tore through the wall of a home on North Prince Street, cutting across the safety of 4 walls and into the life of a woman inside. Her name was Brittany Shanty Sierra Sullivan. By sunrise, she would be gone. 34 years old, a mother, a daughter, a sister. Her life ended in a moment, the questions left behind still echoing. Who did this? Why? And will they ever be held accountable? This is not just another crime statistic, show trailer. This is the story of a real woman, a family shattered, and a community left searching for justice. Brittany Shanty Sierra Sullivan was born in Greenville, South Carolina. She was the daughter of James Sullivan and the late Melissa Renee Bird Sullivan. She was a sister to Kisley, John, and Julius. She was the mother of 4 children, Samaria, Jazuria, Lima J., and Kingston. And if you ask those who knew her, they will tell you that she was devoted to her children in a way that shaped every part of her life. She carried the daily responsibilities, the joys, and the challenges of motherhood with love and commitment. Brittany was a real person, not just a name in a headline, and it is important to say her name, to know who she was, because her story should be told in full, not reduced to a moment of violence. On the night of August 2nd into the early hours of August 3rd, Brittany was visiting a friend at a home along North Prince Street in Anderson. It was an ordinary visit in an ordinary house, but sometime in those small hours of the morning, a vehicle came down that street. Inside it, someone opened fire. The sound of gunshots, sharp, fast, and terrifying, ripped through the quiet. One of those bullets pierced the walls of the home where Brittany was. It struck her. In an instant, what had been an ordinary night became a nightmare. Anderson County Sheriff's deputies responded quickly. Emergency medical services arrived. The Anderson County Coroner's Office came to the scene. But despite all attempts, Brittany was pronounced dead right there, inside that home. The coroner later confirmed what her family already knew in their hearts. She was the victim of a homicide. The cause of death, a fatal gunshot wound. The bullet had been fired from outside in a drive-by shooting. At 2:44 a.m., a mother of 4 lost her life in a burst of violence that was both deliberate and indiscriminate. An autopsy was scheduled in the days that followed, part of the standard investigative process. The Anderson County Sheriff's Office, working alongside the coroner's office, opened a full investigation. As of the latest updates, no suspect has been publicly identified. No motive has been confirmed. There have been no announced arrests. Authorities have made public appeals for information, urging anyone who knows something, anything, to come forward. And as is too often the case, this call for community help comes in a world where silence and fear can slow the path to justice. In telling this story, it is critical to stick with what is confirmed. We know that Brittany was in that home visiting a friend. We know the time of the shooting, 2:44 a.m. We know that shots came from a passing vehicle. We know that one of those bullets took her life, and we know that investigators are still searching for whoever pulled that trigger. What we do not know is who that person or those people are. We do not know exactly why they targeted that street, that house, or that moment. We do not know whether Brittany herself was the intended target, or whether she was caught in an act of violence aimed elsewhere. If stories like this matter to you, make sure you're subscribed right now. Hit that bell so you never miss an update, and give this video a like so more people can see Brittany's story. And in the comments, tell us where you're watching from. Your voice can help push for justice. These gaps in public information are not speculation points. They are unanswered questions. They are the places where the investigation must speak for itself, where the facts must be allowed to surface through proper process. The tragedy of Brittany's death is not just in the act itself, but in what it represents. In communities across America, and particularly in Black communities, Black women are taken by violence at alarming rates, and their cases do not always receive the urgency, the coverage, or the resolution they deserve. To say that Brittany's life mattered is to acknowledge both her humanity and the systemic issues that surround cases like hers. But here we ground ourselves in what is documented. Brittany's family grieving the loss of a daughter and a sister, 4 children now without their mother, an investigation that continues. In Anderson County, violent crime leaves a visible mark. Streets that were once just routes to work, to church, to school, become places people pass with caution. The address where Brittany was killed is now part of the city's crime map, a pin on a chart that says nothing about her smile, her laugh, her role in her family's life. For those who loved her, that pin is not just data, it's a wound. In the days after the shooting, official statements from the Anderson County Coroner's Office confirmed her identity, the cause of death, and the manner of death. The sheriff's office kept the case open, releasing the basic facts but withholding any details that could compromise the investigation. These kinds of cases rely heavily on community cooperation, on witnesses coming forward, on neighbors who might have seen a car or heard something unusual, on anyone with even the smallest piece of information taking that step to share it. Sometimes, in drive-by shootings, there are security cameras that catch a glimpse, a car speeding away, a flash of muzzle fire. Sometimes there are shell casings left behind that can be matched to other shootings. But until investigators release more, we cannot say whether any of that exists in Brittany's case. What we can do is underline the urgency of speaking up. Someone knows what happened that night. Someone knows who was in that car. That knowledge could be the difference between a case that fades unsolved and a case that sees justice served. When you strip away the distance of headlines and statistics, what you see is a human life. A woman with children, with parents, with siblings, with friends. Her absence changes the daily reality for every person who loved her. 4 children will grow up carrying the weight of losing their mother in this way. For her father, James Sullivan, the loss is both a personal grief and a public wound. If you believe every life lost to violence deserves to be remembered and every case deserves answers, now is the time to take action. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update on cases like this. Give this video a like so more people can hear these stories, and share it with your friends, your family, and your social networks. Drop a comment telling us where you're watching from and what justice means to you. Because together, we can keep the pressure on and we can make sure these cases are never forgotten. For her siblings, it is the kind of heartbreak that never truly heals. And for the community, whether they knew her personally or not, it is a reminder that violence has no boundaries. It can cross any street, any home, any life. While there are no verified reports yet of vigils or marches for Brittany, history tells us that these acts of remembrance often follow. They are spaces for mourning, for solidarity, for demanding answers. They are also a chance to make visible the lives that violence tries to erase. Even without a public gathering, every person watching this can play a role in keeping Brittany's name alive, in keeping her story from slipping away into silence. In the course of this documentary, you've heard the confirmed facts. You've heard what we know, and you've heard what remains unknown. Now we return to those unanswered questions, not to guess at the answers, but to mark their importance. Who carried out the drive-by shooting that took Brittany's life? What was the motive? Was there a link between the shooter and that home? These questions matter because behind them lies the truth that could bring closure to a grieving family and justice to a case that deserves it. If you are watching this and you live in Anderson County, or you know someone who does, ask yourself if there is anything you might have seen, heard, or learned since that night. Even the smallest detail, the kind that might seem insignificant, can be the thread that unravels a bigger picture. Call the Anderson County Sheriff's Office tip line. Submit information to Crime Stoppers anonymously. Your piece of the puzzle might be the one that fits. Brittany's story is not just a case file in a drawer. It is a reminder that behind every statistic of violent crime is a human life with relationships, history, and meaning. It is also a reminder of the work still to be done to ensure that the deaths of Black women are investigated with the same urgency, the same resources, the same visibility as any other. In the end, this is about justice. It is about accountability. It is about ensuring that Brittany's children know that their mother's life was valued enough for the truth to be pursued. It is about refusing to let her name fade. If you've watched this far, you are already part of that refusal. Please like this video to help it reach more people. Subscribe to this channel so you can stay updated as we continue to cover Brittany's case and others like it. Comment below where you're watching from and share this video widely, because the more people who know her name and her story, the more pressure there is for justice. If you have information, reach out to the Anderson County Sheriff's Office or Crime Stoppers. Tip lines work when communities use them. And if you are someone who has experienced or witnessed violence, know that there are resources available to help you stay safe and get support. We have listed national and local organizations in the description of this video. Brittany Shanti Sierra Sullivan should still be here. Her children should still have their mother. Her father should not have to bury his daughter. We cannot change the events of August 3rd, 2024. But together, we can push for a future where lives like Brittany's are protected, where justice is pursued without delay, and where no family has to wait in the dark for answers. Justice for Brittany. Say her name, keep her story alive, and never accept silence when the truth is still out there. This is one story, but it is not the only one. Every share, every comment, every subscriber helps keep these cases alive and pushes for the answers families deserve. If you haven't already, subscribe now and turn on all notifications so you're here for every update and every new story we cover. Like this video to help it reach more people, and share it anywhere someone will listen. Because silence lets violence win, and we refuse to stay silent. Tell us in the comments where you're watching from and what justice means to you, because when we speak together, we are impossible to ignore.